Hey everybody, it's me. It feels so good to be back on social media. I've been gone for a long time. There was a lot going on. There still is a lot going on, but I'm here and I'm so glad you guys are coming into this live stream right now. I think this is the first time I've ever done an Instagram live. So I thank you guys for being here today with me. And right now, this conversation is very important that we're going to have here today on my live. Let me just take a deep breath because this is really heavy on me. But I'm not going to have this conversation alone. You guys are obviously here with me, and I'm going to have this conversation with a very, very wonderful, accomplished young lady. Her name is Sage, and I'm going to have her join me very, very shortly. And just to give you a little background on Sage, she is a young queer and trans Afro-Cuban artist, and she's also a youth leader. And Sage and I are going to talk about my recent transphobic comments and remarks that I made. And I just want to use this, you guys, as a learning experience for myself and for anyone else that's out there watching along with me. We're going to use this to learn and to guide and to be better people from this moment, big mistakes that I made. And I just want to say right now, you guys, no hate. This is just for us to get better and to heal as a nation of people. And I know I really, really messed up, and I'm going to look for my girl Sage. I don't want to keep talking on. I just really need my girl Sage to join this live. Okay, let me see. It looks like someone's here. I hope it's my girl Sage. Oop, these are questions. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me see, you guys. Bear along with me, please. Oh, I see my girl. You a request, Miss Sage. I hope that just happened correctly. Okay, I'm waiting for her to enter. Thank you, guys. Oh,
Hey Tiff.
hi.
Hey. Hey y'all. My name is Sage. Thank you for the introduction, Tiffany. So yeah, I am here to have this conversation with Tiffany, but also to invite you all in for this learning experience because, although this is a mistake, and although the transphobic behavior that Tiffany demonstrated is something that Tiffany needs to take accountability for, right? This is also something that I'm sure a lot of you all in this live and a lot of you who follow Tiffany and are part of her community need to be educated on as well. So although that doesn't negate any of the harm caused, right? It just, we're including all of you all in this learning experience, and extending the conversation that Tiff and I have had before this.
Sage, I thank you so much just for your presence and your light.
Glad to be
And
here.
you, prior to us going live, you just have been, and I don't want to talk too much because the people are going to feel your energy in a minute, but I have grown in such a short period of time just from speaking with you and getting knowledge and finding out, how unaware I was about so many things. But I'm sorry, that's the only time I'm going to cut you off. You have the floor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to thank you as well for being receptive and being open. And I think it's hard for us to accept, right? Like it's hard for us to accept that we may have caused harm. It's hard for us to accept that we may have, done something that was not our intention to, but it's important, right, to acknowledge the impact of our language and of our actions. So I just want to start off by speaking about the comment section, not only on this live, but also on your most recent explanation video. And that although there were a bunch of folks who pour out support for you, saying that what happened was not transphobia, right? And that even you stating in your video that there is not a transphobic bone in your body, right? what happened, the language that was used, that was transphobic. That was an act of transphobia. And I understand that it may be difficult for you to accept, but I also want you to keep in mind, and for everyone in the audience to keep in mind, the impact and the effect that these kinds of languaging and that these kinds of behaviors have directly on trans people. And as a trans and queer woman, I'm here to explain, not only explain, but to speak necessarily from my truth, right? So I just want to say, I've grown up and I've laughed with you. I have found so much of your comedy, not only like life lifting, but incredibly important in my social circles, right? You are a cultural icon, right? And it was definitely hurtful to see myself reflected in your comedy in such a harmful way, right? And I am here to say that besides the trans women and the cis women who may have said that what happened, right, was not transphobic, that I am saying it was, and that I am saying I was hurt and that I was harmed. And I'm not here to accept your apology. That is up to each and every person to do as they wish. But I'm here to engage in this conversation. And I also just want to say, in your explanation video, when you told us, right, that you are not transphobic and that there's no reason for us to be upset with you, that there most definitely was. As I am right now, I'm still upset. I'm still hurt that somebody that I looked up to, right, that somebody that made me feel seen in some sorts of ways, used my identity as a way to get under someone's skin, to insult someone, right? So let's talk about that, and let's talk about the way that this language of calling trans women men, right, that how that translates into real life violence and harm. Okay?
Absolutely. And can I just say right here for everyone that's listening, I definitely realized that I dropped the ball of sisterhood. I didn't protect us as women, cis women, trans women, and there's no words, I feel like at the time, and I just want to say this from my heart right now, being the age that I am, and having to play the role as a villain and walk into a room full of 20 plus something year old ladies and be hurtful and be bashful and not even know their names is not a very gratifying position. And when I left set that night, I felt so bad because I know I harmed. I know I wasn't there to uplift. And there's no excuse because those words that I did use, I chose to utilize them. And I'm not here to shift blame, but I knew that I wasn't being my better self. And for me today, it's an awakening. And like I said, Sage, I really just want you to steer the conversation. I won't interrupt again, but I just want people to know that if being a villain and having to carry on and speak negatively to women that I don't even know is the length of what my contribution to television is, then I don't need to be there anymore. Because I want to use my platform to embrace, to empower, and to uplift and uphold life on all levels. Because this has really been affecting me in deep ways because I know I harmed trans women and cis women as well. And the young lady that was involved in this scene, she's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, striking gorgeous, all of them was. And I was just so mean and cruel and vicious and playing into a character that only harmed. And really quick, when I was on the way home that night, I turned to my best friend and I said, you know what? I did a lot wrong on that set. And my best friend made excuses, and that's what we have to stop. He said, it's okay. It's a TV show. They understand. But I felt so low in that moment, and this is not okay. It's just not okay, you guys.
Yeah. So I think that that's also a really important part to focus on, right? Is the fact that the people around you, that people who are not trans, that people who are not queer want to focus on creating excuses. And I even see them creating excuses in the comments of this live right now. But I want to tell you all a story that will hopefully illuminate, right, the harm that this can cause. So on the show, when you called this woman a man, right, not only did you try to insult her by identifying her as a trans woman, but you equated being a trans woman to being a man. And really quickly, to break down how harmful that can be, not only just to myself, but in a legal standpoint, right? I believe in only 10 states across the United States is the gay panic or the trans panic defense legally not allowed, right, in court. I mean, what that panic defense is that when I go out on a date with a man, and it might not even be a date, when a man is interested in me and I tell him that I'm trans, or he finds out that I'm trans, he can beat me, he can brutalize me, may even murder me, and still defend himself in court by saying, well, that was a man. I didn't know that that was a man. And that's why I did what I did, right? And I'm not a man. You are not a man, despite the way that you may feel that you are identified in public, right? You are not a man. I am not a man. No trans woman is a man. And to use that language just perpetuates the violence that is happening to us in the streets. In 2020, over 45 trans women were murdered. The number is growing every single year. And what does this happen? You know, why does this happen? Because the kind of media attention and the kind of languaging in the media that is given to trans women. We are masculinized. We are over attributed strength. We are seen and perpetuated and represented as villains. And we are not given our humanity. We are also not given the vulnerability and the safety that we deserve and that we need. When I was 15 years old, I was attacked in my high school. I was lured to the locker area, and in front of 15 or more onlookers, a boy brutalized me. And while I was bleeding, while my blood was covering the floor, the excuse that this boy gave to the people that were looking on was, that's okay, that's a man. You know? And this is the same defense that people use every day to discriminate against trans people, to brutalize trans people, to tear trans people down. And something that we must understand as women of color, that we are not free until all of our siblings are free, that we are not free until trans women are free, right?
Yeah.
And something that you said in your explanation video, right, that you said, I am a hereditary woman, as you would call it, a biological woman.
Yeah.
The term that you were looking for was cisgender.
Yeah.
You're a cisgender woman. I'm a
Thank
transgender
you.
woman. Both of us are real women. Neither of us are men. And I see people who are saying, you know, Tiffany, this is not your fault. The violence that's happening in the streets is not your fault. Of course, you're not the person pulling the trigger. Of course, you're not the person putting your hands on trans women and brutalizing us, right? But the people who follow you, the people who laughed at that comment, the people who laughed at that joke, with every laugh, they settled deeper and deeper into their transphobia. They settled deeper and deeper into the understanding and the belief that this is okay, and that this is an okay way to treat women, trans women alike, you know? And I also want to say that you as a cis woman can never be a victim of transphobia. You know, when you're out in the street, when you are out at the store and someone says, as you put it, I think that's a man.
Yeah.
And you have the opportunity, you have the chance to say, oh, well, I'm going to internalize that and make myself powerful. You know, I'm going to internalize that as power.
Yeah.
That's not the privilege that I have. As a trans woman, I'm thinking, how am I going to get home? Am I going to get home? Yeah. Am I going to leave this situation alive? Am I going to leave this situation unscathed? Or am I going to be on the ground bleeding again? Am I going to get home? And if I get home, will it be safely, or will it be by will of enduring some level of violence and I somehow find my way at home alive?
Yeah. Baby girl, I'm so sorry. Keep going, baby.
I mean, it's not, and I welcome your apology, but the only thing that I really think we can do is continue these conversations, continue
Please.
having difficult conversations, because
Yes.
for every person in your audience, for every person that disbelieves, right, that trans women are women, with every time that you affirm us, with every time that you lift us up, they will realize that their view is antiquated, that their view is full of hate, right? And to see somebody that they look up to see somebody that they love in conversation with a trans woman, think about the impact that that will have. You know, think about that. And the only thing that really you can do to apologize
Yeah.
is to continue doing the work, you know,
Yes.
invest in trans women,
Yes.
use your platform to protect us, and to really remain committed to
Yeah.
including us. Because of course you can tell me, you know, Sage, I'm sorry. But I'm not here to accept your apology on behalf of the trans community. I'm
Yeah.
not even here to accept an apology. I'm here to have what truly is a really difficult conversation, and a conversation that, quite frankly, I have the privilege to engage in because of the community that I have, because of the support that
Yeah.
I have, because of the work that I've been privileged to do. And you, as a cisgender
Mhm.
woman with
Mhm.
an incredible following and an incredible career, you hold so much privilege to influence every person on this live's opinion.
Okay.
When we began, there were over 1,400 people in this live.
Yeah.
That number has now dropped to below 900. There are
Yeah.
819 people in this live right now, because my life does not matter to them.
Oh,
My
please don't say
opinion
that. Please.
doesn't matter to them. And
Sage, please don't say that.
Tiffany, I have to, because that's the truth, right? The people who are here are there are people who are willing to learn, and there are also people here who are just committed
Okay.
to spreading hate, right? And telling me that I'm a man in the comments. And it's
Ouch.
something that, beyond your tears,
I'm
and
so sorry. Can I kill the comments then? Because there will be none of that.
I mean, you can kill the comments, but I'm trust me, Tiffany, I am secure in my identity as a
Yes,
woman.
ma'am.
I've been
Yes.
transitioned for over 8 years, and regardless of the amount of time that I have been transitioned, right? Whether I've been transitioned 8 years, 2 months, 1 week, 2 days, right? My validity as a trans woman is something that you can never take away from me, no
Yes.
matter how much you hate me, no matter how much you want to tell me that I am a man, right? But I just want you, Tiffany, to accept, right, as you have, the harm that you've caused. And
Yes.
for that, I really have to commend you. You know, it's not really worth me commending, you know, it's not something that we should be clapping for, right? Because that's just basic dignity, right? Like, that is just basic
Yes.
respect. But
Absolutely.
as a person in your shoes, with the platform that you have and the pressure that is there, I
Yeah.
do commend you for including a member of the trans community in this conversation. And I was clear with you that this would not be an easy
Yes.
conversation,
Yes, you
and
were.
that I would in no way be soft on you, be hard on you, because although I love what you bring to the television screen, what you brought was incredibly harmful
Yeah.
this time, and I was incredibly insulted.
Honey.
So without continuing on, right, I just want you to know that going forward, please identify yourself as a cis woman,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Utilize the platform and the privilege that you have as a
Yeah.
cis woman to protect us. When you see people, you know, commenting on your last post and saying, oh, well, Tiff, it's okay, you know, let them know,
It's not.
actually,
Yeah.
it's not, right? Actually, I caused harm. Actually, I did something wrong, and I'm engaging in the work to change it.
Thank
And
you so
that's the way that you
much.
truly apologize to our community.
Well,
That
I'm
is
going to
the way
start
that you
by
create
getting rid
change.
of that BS explanation video. I am so no longer there anymore. And I have to express my gratitude to you, Miss Sage, because you've brought me into a light place, meaning I'm illuminating the truth. And quite frankly, my fiance, he saw that video and he used a term that really, really brought me to my knees. He said, babe, that was evil, what you did. It was harmful. It was just mean. And just having him love me enough to tell me the truth and not coddle me and baby me, I said, this is someone that's on my side and he wants me to get to a better Tiffany. And Sage, when I look at you, you're beautiful, you're bright, you're only 20 years old, and you're so accomplished and well spoken. And for me to have just celebrated my 39th birthday and to be brought into such a place of, I'm humbled right now by you and your stories that you told, and the fact that you're still willing to be on my live, even though you're upset, but to come here and willingly equip me with the knowledge that I need to go forward in my life and in my career and on my platform. This is just the beginning, and I'm so committed to continue on to doing the work. And I'm so sorry that I hurt you, sis. I'm so sorry that my words hurt you and other trans women and young girls, because we really, really, really do have to stick together from now on.
We do. And I thank you for expressing that sentiment. And I think the only way for me to accept your apology is to see that action demonstrated and carried on. And I definitely respect the conversation that we're having. I also want to say, right, that we as trans women are not responsible for carrying out these dialogues. We as trans women are not responsible for educating cis people in our everyday lives, right? But I have the privilege and the opportunity to do so. And I'm also equipped with the tools and the capacity to do so. And that's why I'm here. But I don't want any trans person in the audience. I don't want any trans person at all to feel that this is your responsibility.
Right.
I'm here for you all, my trans siblings. I am not here for anyone else. I'm here for my trans siblings and to try to spread love and intelligence and give Tiffany the information that she needs to go on and to show us what she needs to do to apologize to us. And there's only apology through action. And Tiffany, I'm very, very excited. I am looking forward to see what you do with your persona, what you do with your platform, and the change that you are able to affect on television going forward. And I think that, like I said, the proof is in the pudding, right? So we'll see how things go moving forward. We'll see the ways that you change and the ways that you grow. And I appreciate you for having this conversation.
I appreciate more. I appreciate you so much more. And I thank you for being willing to just still be there on my journey to see those transitioning moments happen in my life, because you could just throw me away from the actions that I took that night on that set. But you're not saying that. You're like, sis, you know what? You really, really mucked up, but I'm still kind of here, sort of. And I appreciate that so very much. You're enduring and everything and anything that you went through that was less than your value, honey. I'm so sorry. And the stories that you told here today, it's just, you're remarkable. I mean, you could just take so many bows. Everybody should be so proud of you, because I know I am.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you all to everybody in the comments that has engaged in this conversation. Thank you for everybody who has watched. Thank you for those who have really taken this as an opportunity to educate yourselves. And, to the people who are still dropping in the comments that I'm a man, I wish you happiness. I wish you wholeness. I wish you peace. And I wish you the ability to grow past what is holding you so tightly to hate. And I really do hope that you have the space in the coming days to think back to this live and think back to throwing out hateful comments against a young trans woman who is here to educate and who is here to help. So thank you to all my trans siblings. Thank you to the people who are showing love. Thank you to the people who are here to really learn. And thank you, Tiffany.
Well, girl, thank you. And not only trans woman, but a gorgeous, beautiful trans woman. And you know what? It's Friday, girl. And you young. You ain't 21. You can't drink yet. But I'm about to DM you. I'm going to send you to a beautiful dinner with you and whoever you're quarantined with tonight. And you guys, everything is on me. I'm about to DM you and you send me your info. So tonight, your Friday night, girl, do it up. Because
I'll try. I'll try. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Bye,
absolutely.
Y'all.
Bye, you guys. Love you. Oh, thank y'all so much for being here. I don't know how to end it, guys. Shit. How do you end it? I love y'all so much. How do I end this? Oh, damn it. Wasn't she amazing? I don't know how to end it, y'all. Freak. Um, oh, damn it. How do I end it? Shit. Press X? Okay. I love you guys. Thank you so much. This has been so hard, and I couldn't have done. I pressed X. Oh, shit. Damn it.